Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Greetings everyone, it is Dane Simair with Simair Flyer. I know it's been a very long time since I did a video, and I won't go into a lot of detail, but it's basically I've been kind of tired the past 6 months. I'm going through what a lot of men my age go through, prostate cancer. I'm not really worried about it because it's totally under control with the treatments. But the treatments, which started in January, well, no, it didn't start in January. The treatments actually started, let's see, a month and a half ago. But the whole process started in January. It just leaves you really, really tired. So I wasn't always in the mood to go flying, even though I was in the mood, but I just didn't do it. Anyway, here I am. I may have done a Jamaica flight before, I'm not quite sure, but if I have done one before, forgive me. This one is going to be a little different. I know I did one a couple years ago where I flew all around the island of Jamaica. Jamaica happens to be the country of my birth. Lived there for the first 15 years of my life, and then my mother brought the kids up to Canada, where we've been living for many, 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 many years. Seems like a lifetime. Well, it actually is a lifetime. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with all this stuff. So here we are. We are in Kingston, Jamaica. We're on the north coast, right near Ocho Rios. We're in a airport now known as the Ian Fleming International Airport. Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra. But when I first flew in an airplane, back when I was, let me think now, I guess I would have been 14 years old maybe. This airstrip was a grass airstrip, and it was known as Boscobel Airstrip because it's right in the town of Boscobel. But now it's Ian Fleming International Airport. I'll show you on Navigraph what we're planning to do. Let's get into the cockpit first. The aircraft is all checked. Engines are running. Everything's ready to go. Let's just go over to Navigraph, and I'll just point out where we're going. Let's just hide that. So there's the island of Jamaica. It's about 150 miles wide by approximately 50 miles deep. This is Kingston down here, the capital of the island. And this is where I was born and raised, down at Kingston. So today, though, we are leaving from Boscobel Airstrip. We're going to fly along out over the Caribbean Sea. It's known as a sea as opposed to an ocean. It's the Caribbean Sea. And actually, let me show it to you on a little nav map because it shows a little better. Alright, let's just get... Alright, yeah, on little nav map it shows up the towns and stuff a little better. So we're going to fly out here along the Caribbean Sea. We're going to pass by, this is a very prominent resort. Where did it go? It just disappeared when I zoomed in. Couples Tower Isle right here. So this is Couples Tower Isle. There's actually an island, Sapphire Island, right out here. And years ago there used to be an old, like a castle tower right here. I think that's long gone now. But we're going to fly by there. We're going to fly by a lot of beaches and stuff. We're going to fly by this particular resort, now known as Sandals Royal Plantation. And this resort used to be owned by one of my cousins right here, and it was known as the Plantation Inn. That's what it was known as. So that's, we're going to fly by there. It's no longer, this was in the 60s when he owned this. And it was, I guess they when it was bought by Sandals, they turned the name over to Royal Plantation, because in fact, royalty do stay there. The Queen, back in the 60s, the Queen and Prince Philip stayed in my cousin's hotel. This is my other cousin's hotel. Well, used to be known as the Carib Ocherius Hotel. And my cousin, I'll tell you about my cousin in a minute, but well, he owned he was an Air Force, he was in the Canadian Air Force, and when the war was over, in Jamaica, he bought his own twin-engine Piper PA-23, and he would fly from Kingston over to Boscobel Airport, where we're parked today, and he would bring more of his prominent guests over to stay at his hotel. Why does Little Nav Map keep doing that? That is very annoying. Let's see, what if I turn that off? No, then I won't see it at all. What if I turn this off? Keeps going back to where the airplane is. Anyway, so he would fly over and drop his guests off and then escort them to his hotel. And when he was departing to go back to Kingston, he would take off from Boscobel. He'd fly out here on the Caribbean Sea, and he had a signature departure whenever he left. He would fly out here, and he would come really low to the waves, to the ocean or to the sea, and he would come screaming in really fast towards the beach. And then he would there were a lot of coconut trees right here. This doesn't depict it, but there were a lot of coconut trees all around here. And he would come in over the beach, and he'd pull it up real fast, and just to get over the top of the coconut trees. And that was his signature departure when he was going back to Kingston. Anyway, that was the first airplane I ever flew in when I was about 14 years old. And from then on, aviation has been in my blood. This February, haven't been back to Jamaica for a long time, so this February we're going to spend 1 month in Jamaica. We're going to be spending 3 weeks in the Carib Draxhall Country Club right here. We've got a house that we've rented there, and then we're going to spend a week in Kingston down here. And that'll be the month of February. Anyway, let's get back into the airplane, because we talked enough about my personal stuff. Let's get flying. Oh, so I should tell you where I started off to tell you where we're going, and I ended up telling you all about my family. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, when we leave here, we're going to fly down to Moneague, the little town of Moneague. It's the JDF, the Jamaica Defense Force Training Camp, is right here in Moneague. So we're going to land here on that grass strip, or we might do just a touch and go, see how the time goes. And then from there we're going down to Uriton. Uriton is the town of Uriton is the home of the bauxite plant. Jamaica is noted for its bauxite. For those of you that are not aware, bauxite is a mineral that's mined. It's mainly on the surface of the earth, but they do have to mine down a little bit, not much though. And it's a mineral that's used in the production of aluminum. So this is the color of bauxite actually. And when you're in Jamaica, in this area, you'll see a lot of the land is this red color, and that's all bauxite. And this is the bauxite plant. It used to be Alcan, which is the aluminum company of Canada. They used to own it, but it's now owned by different people. And from there, we're going to make a stop here at Tulloch Airstrip. Tulloch Airstrip, way back in the 1800s, was known for its sugarcane and rum production. I think it was the late 1800s. And the estate, the Tulloch family estate, is all here. And this is a tiny grass strip that serves that estate. And then from there, if time permits, we will head down to Tinson Pen, which is an airport that is primarily used for the Kingston Harbor. People that work in the Kingston Harbor and all the executives, they fly into Tinson Pen rather than the international airport here, Norman Manley Airport, and then from there they'd have to drive all the way in over to here. So they just fly into Tinson Pen. So if time permits, we'll do a touch and go there. There's no point stopping. And then we'll just land at Norman Manley International Airport. If time does not permit, we will end our flight right here at Tulloch Airstrip. So without any further ado, let's now switch over to the aircraft. Okay, we're back taxiing on runway 27. Winds are calm. We got nice high clouds. All is good for a Jamaican flight. Yeah, we should put on some reggae music while we're flying. Okay, let's just turn around here. Get lined up on the center line, runway 27. We'll set our heading bug to the runway heading. I like to do that, runway 27. There it is, zone 27. And we've got 1 notch of flaps is already in. Make sure that 1 notch of flaps. Make sure the controls are free and clear. That's all good. Flaps are working. Rudder back there we can see is working. Elevators are working. Okay. So feet on the brakes, advancing the power. releasing the brakes. The trim has been set. Engines are in the green. We have 50 knots, we have 60 knots, and we have 70 knots we can rotate. We are airborne. Flaps are coming in. Make a gentle right turn out over the Caribbean Sea. And let's put some music on. And we're just going to keep the nose low right here. We don't have to go too high, maybe 1,000 feet. Yeah, let's just look over the nose here a little bit. Beautiful day in Jamaica. This bay is known as Rio Nuevo Bay. Not sure where it got the name from. And coming up is the famous Tower Isle Resort. Let's get down a little bit lower to see it a little better. Reduce our prop settings and our manifold pressure. So there's a Tower Isle Resort, there's that island, and there's a hotel in the resort area. Microsoft really doesn't do the scenery justice, but it is what it is. I should watch where I'm flying rather than going into the Caribbean Sea for a swim. I'd prefer to be in the sky. We're coming up to one of my cousins, what used to be one of my cousins' hotel, the Plantation Inn, now known as the Sandals Royal Plantation. That out as we go by. It's right near this tower right here. So this is it right here. Royal Plantation Inn. I'll put a notch of flaps in because going at a slower speed. And now we're coming up a little closer to my other cousin who had the cargo Charias, where he would storm the beach on his departure in his EA-23 Piper. Let's see if we can get a better view out the window. Yeah, that's it right there. And you know what we'll do? We will just do a departure signature, what my cousin used to do. Although we won't be doing the speed that he was doing in his Piper PA-23, Piper Apache. I was backing around, I don't know, the mid-60s. Alright, let's see where we are. Yeah, we'll just keep turning. And we'll do full power. Flaps are retracted, of course, at 120. He'd be screaming in at about 140 knots. And he'd come straight in here to this beach right here. There were a lot of coconut trees, really tall coconut trees right here, and he'd be right off the waves, just like this, and he'd come right over the beach, and then he would just pull up really fast and get over the coconut trees. Anyway, that's what he used to do. All right, let's continue our flight. This is where all the cruise ships dock that come into Ocherius. They dock along here. We're over the town of Ocherius right now, actually. That's the town of Ocherius. I much prefer Ocherius to Montego Bay. Now I know a lot of tourists go to Montego Bay because there's a very large international airport right at Montego Bay. But for safety reasons, I prefer Ocherius. Montego Bay doesn't have the safety record that Ocherius has. Coming up here is the famous Duns River Falls, where everyone wants to go to. They like to climb the falls and come down. And right over here somewhere, I'm not sure if that's it or this is it, is where me and the family will be staying for 3 weeks, and then we'll do 1 week in Kingston after this. There I'll put in some flaps, lower my speed. No, that's not it. Sorry, it is right up here. Let's just turn out here a little bit. Yeah, because it's walking distance to the beach, so it'll be really handy for us. Okay, here it is right here. This is the development, and there's a pool right there, somewhere right here, and we're right across from the pool. So we're looking forward to that. It'll be a good rest after what I've been going through for the past few months. All right, let's get on our way. So we're heading southeast, heading down to Moneague, the Jamaica Defense Force training camp. Using the Cessna 172 today. It's actually the Reams rocket Cessna 172. Guess we can retract the flaps now. It's a great aircraft. It's made, Cessna licensed the rights for Reims rockets, or not Reims rocket, but the Reims Aviation in France. They licensed the rights for them to produce this aircraft, the Reims rocket. 3-bladed, 210 horsepower. Very powerful and very fast for a Cessna 172. There's absolutely no problem achieving 120, 130 knots and on full acceleration, full power at a lower altitude. It's no problem getting up to 150 knots, and it does have good power for short field or shorter field landings. It's not a stall aircraft, but it performs quite well. Now, I've got to find Moneague training camp. It should be on a heading of about 164. So I'll just turn my heading bug to 164 right here, and we'll kind of follow that for a little bit. And the highway that goes from the north coast to the south coast should be on our right over there. That's a toll highway, and that's made all the difference in Jamaica. It used to take 2 hours to drive from Kingston to Ocherius, which is only a 50-mile distance. It used to take about 2 hours using the mountain roads, what they call the junction road. Now it takes 1 hour using the toll highway. Should see some red roofs. That's kind of a tip-off when we're getting close to Moneague. And actually what you're looking at here is bauxite minerals on the surface of the earth, on the surface of the ground. There's a toll highway, so we should be, it's always difficult to find this little airstrip. Let's have a cheating view. It's not showing it to me. It should be on my left here somewhere. I know it's a heading of 090. Alright, I'm gonna head east now. Okay, there's the red roof that I was looking for. Now we gotta find... Oh, let's see, there it is right there. I just about flew past it. I think we'll do a touch and go here. These are all the Defense Force barracks right there. No, you know what? We're going to go around. This is not a good landing. That is not a good landing. Let's do a go around. Let's do a left crosswind and then a left downwind and come back in again. See all the bauxite? Where's the airport? Okay, it's right back there. Okay, I see it. Alright. Let's keep going downwind. There's the airstrip right there. There's all the barracks of the Defense Force. So we need to come over those barracks a little bit lower. Put in a notch of flaps. So we're out over the toll highway right now. So we're going to turn south. The elevation of the airstrip, I think, is about 1,000 feet. We're at 2,000 right now. We may have overshot it again because we did a very close downwind approach. It's okay, we'll come back. We have full flaps. There's the barracks in front of us. There's the strip. And we got to get in between these narrow trees without hitting the trees. And we'll just do a touch and go here. There we are. And off we go again. Okay, we are now we're going to do another left pattern. And we'll depart to the south. And we'll go to Uriton Airstrip. I don't know why that popped up. Uriton Airstrip, again, is the town of Uriton. And that's where the bauxite is mined. Well, not just mined, it's produced there. There, we're flying right over the airstrip we just landed on. We need to be on a heading of about 170 degrees. So I put that into the heading bug. Uriton has an elevation of about 600 feet. And the airstrip there is runway 07 is the preferred runway. Easily tell when we're approaching Uriton because there's a lot of red bauxite to the east of the airstrip. The bauxite is between the toll highway and the airstrip and the town. So you can can see here where the toll highway swings off. We're going kind of south. It swings off to the east right here. And, well, I'll quickly show you on a little nav map real quick. So we're right there. There's a toll highway, swings off to the east and continues south. There's the bauxite, and there's the airstrip right there. And there's the bauxite. And there's the toll highway right there. Now we're going to head right towards the airstrip, which is, let's see, where is that airstrip? Where is the airstrip? Is that it there? Not sure if that's it or not. I don't think that's it. We've got to find it. Still up a little bit on about my 10 or 11 o'clock, I think. Let's lose some speed here. Looking for the airstrip. Oh, there it is there. We are right over it. Alright, so we're doing a flyover right now. Let's put in the heading bug 070. Okay. Okay, we're going to join the left downwind for 07. Look at the size of that bauxite on the ground. It's huge. There's the runway right there. I'm looking forward to Sim Update 3 when it's released, because I saw a video that talks about how the controls have been reworked so that they are really one-to-one. There's no lag when you put in movement on the control, and the trimming is exceptionally good. Alright, let's make our turn final here. There's the runway there. And again, we'll just do a touch and go. There's no point stopping. We've got a nice clear path down between these trees. Not too low. Not too low. Okay, here we go. Okay. And away we go again. And this is all the production area here of the bauxite. going to the next airstrip will be a full stop, because I think that'll be the end of our video, end of our flight. I don't like to make the videos too long. So we're going to go to the Tulloch Airstrip, that or Tulloch Estates. That's where that was located back in the 1840s, 1850s, and that's where the sugar cane was a plantation, and that's where they developed all the rum. Now the primary distiller of rum is Appleton Estates, and they're on the southwestern edge of Jamaica. And of course, there's no finer rum than Appleton Estates. For those that like rum, which I do. Alright, the runway is runway 08. Let's put that into our heading bug so we know where we're going to be going. So in effect right now we're on a very, very long left base for runway 08. Here we are, and there's the grass strip that we're going to be landing on. Now, where's the highway? We should be on the right side of the highway, which we are. There's the highway going down there. And the airstrip is on the left side of the highway. As soon as we get to the town of Bogwalk, B-O-G-W-A-L-K, Bogwalk. Alright, we should be turning east now to line up with the runway if we can find it. If we can find it. No, it's a little bit further to the south. I turned too soon. Further to the south. Let's see, where is that little grass strip? It should be right about here somewhere. There it is. Actually, it's not grass. It's depicted in little nav map as grass, but it's not. It's turf. Well, I guess it is a little bit of grass there, isn't it? Okay, let's just stop here. That was a good landing, actually. My landing rate monitor tells me it was minus 82. I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, this is the Tulloch Estates airstrip. And we can kind of make our way down here, down to where the cabins used to be, I guess, back in the early 1900s. And in the 1800s, unfortunately, there was a lot of slavery was still in existence in the early 1800s. And this would be their headquarters where they stayed, where they lived. Not sure how far back we can go. I know at some point Microsoft stops us. Let's see, can we get by here? Yeah, we got by here. Alright, so we're going to stop right here. We'll shut the engine down right here. Okay, so let's just take a quick drone flight over. This used to be the sprawling estates for rum production. I'm not quite sure where all the sugarcane was grown, but it was obviously somewhere around here. Not sure if it was on the right-hand side here or over on the left. But anyway, here we are. We are safe and sound. Let's shut this thing down and then we'll just say our goodbyes. Mixture is back. Props are back. Throttle is off. Magnetos are coming off. Strobe lights are off. Nav lights are off. Taxi lights off. Landing lights off. Beacon lights off. Avionics off. Everything's off there. Alternators off. And master battery is off. And that's it. So just want to say thank you so much for flying with Simir Flyer. I'm Dane Simir. I'm really not quite sure when my next video will be because I am kind of struggling with tiredness. But all is going well, and I expect all the treatments to be 100% successful. But in the meantime, you're kind of left with being kind of tired. So, we will catch you the next time around. Remember to keep the wings up and the wheels down. Talk to you guys later.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, cross over midfield, join right downwind runway 13.